Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a fascinating chapter of history when God transformed Nebuchadnezzar, the powerful ruler of the Neo-Babylonian Empire, into an animal. This event marked a significant era of conquests and glory. The Neo-Babylonian Empire flourished under Nebuchadnezzar's leadership, showcasing remarkable achievements that continue to captivate us today. One of Nebuchadnezzar's most renowned accomplishments was the creation of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. These gardens were a marvel of engineering and are considered one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. They stood as a testament to the king's vision and ingenuity. When Nebuchadnezzar ascended to the throne, he inherited a vast empire that his father, Nabopolassar, had built through conquest. The lands under their rule stretched from Palestine and Syria to Mesopotamia. Nebuchadnezzar was driven to expand these domains even further, and his decisive victory over the Egyptians at the Battle of Kimsh in 605 BC solidified his reputation as a skilled strategist. However, Nebuchadnezzar's impact on history is most deeply felt in Jerusalem. The Lord used him as an instrument of correction for the people of Israel who had fallen into idolatry and rebellion. As punishment, the Babylonian king took the Jews captive to Babylon between 607 and 586 BC. This period of exile became a time of reflection and spiritual introspection for the Jewish people. Nebuchadnezzar, the powerful ruler, orchestrated a relentless campaign known as the Siege of Jerusalem. This brutal assault lasted for over a year and resulted in the complete devastation of the Jewish temple, the capture of thousands of its people, and the utter destruction of the city itself. It was a dark and tragic episode that not only brought physical destruction but also caused a profound spiritual decline. The cultural and religious heart of Judah was left in ruins. Among those taken into captivity in Babylon was a young man named Daniel, who possessed unwavering faith and remarkable insight. His faith would be tested and transformed within the Babylonian court. One of the pivotal moments in Daniel's life occurred when he interpreted a dream for King Nebuchadnezzar, an event chronicled in the 2nd chapter of the book of Daniel. This extraordinary ability not only saved Daniel's life, but also elevated his status in the eyes of the king. Later on, when Nebuchadnezzar was troubled by another dream, he turned to Daniel for interpretation once again. This time, the revelation found in the 4th chapter of Daniel's book had a profound impact on the king. Daniel's interpretations not only unveiled the mysteries of dreams, but also paved the way for a greater revelation. The message deeply affected Nebuchadnezzar, leading him to proclaim the greatness of God to all peoples and nations. He recognized the divine majesty and the eternal nature of God's kingdom. During the 30 years that followed the events we discussed, Nebuchadnezzar underwent a period of deep reflection and transformation. As he entered the later stages of his life, with age and experience shaping his perspective, Nebuchadnezzar shared a personal account that Daniel included in his writings. In this account, we find Nebuchadnezzar facing a profound test of humility. Before this test, God gave him a warning through a dream. This dream occurred during a time of peace and prosperity, when Nebuchadnezzar was enjoying the comforts of his luxurious palace. However, the dream troubled him greatly, prompting him to seek interpretation from the wise men of Babylon. None of them were able to provide an explanation, except for Daniel, also known as Belshazzar in Babylonian. Daniel, distinguished by his special spirit and recognized by Nebuchadnezzar, was called upon to unravel the mysteries of the dream. This interaction not only reaffirmed Daniel's unique role as a prophet and interpreter, but also solidified Nebuchadnezzar's transformation from a powerful king to a proclaimer of the supreme power of God. The dream that Nebuchadnezzar had revealed a drastic and symbolic change. It portrayed his human heart being replaced by the heart of a beast, condemning him to live among animals and eat as they do for a period of 7 years. This dream had a clear and severe purpose: to demonstrate that the highest authority rules over the kingdoms of men and grants power to whomever he chooses, even to the most humble. By emphasizing divine authority over human presumption, the imagery of the tree reaching to heaven in Nebuchadnezzar's dream evoked memories of the Tower of Babel. a previous human attempt in the same region to reach the heavens. This imagery symbolized human pride and arrogance. The dream not only foresaw Nebuchadnezzar's imminent humiliation, but also served as a powerful reminder of God's sovereignty over all earthly kingdoms. Divine intervention in Nebuchadnezzar's dream was announced by a vigilant and holy being, possibly an angel proclaiming God's judgment. This judgment not only meant Nebuchadnezzar's fall from his high position of power, but also his degradation to a state less than human, living among animals like a beast. This condition, described as lycanthropy in medical terms, though not necessarily associated with any known illness, symbolized the loss of human dignity that accompanies extreme pride. The judgment inflicted upon Nebuchadnezzar carries an essential message, not only for him but for all of us. It teaches us that the highest authority governs the kingdoms of humanity and bestows power upon whomever he chooses. This episode confronted Nebuchadnezzar with the truth that, despite his amassed power, his dominion was ultimately granted by the divine. God, who possesses ultimate authority over all kingdoms, can both grant and revoke authority, reaffirming his unwavering sovereignty and active governance. The potential restoration of Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom, contingent upon his acknowledgement of divine sovereignty, would serve as a miraculous testament to God's ability to establish and depose kings. It would profoundly teach humility in the recognition of a divine power that surpasses human ambitions. Nebuchadnezzar's transformation into a state below that of a human, compelled to live exposed to the elements and endure the hardships of nature, was not merely a physical punishment. It also symbolized his spiritual and mental decline. This period of humiliation lasted for 7 years, during which the king experienced the complete loss of his dignity and power. It served as a tangible demonstration that true dominion belongs solely to God. After the passage of those 7 years, Nebuchadnezzar's sanity was restored, and he was once again given power through divine intervention. Upon being reinstated, he immediately praised the Most High and acknowledged that only God possesses eternal power, rendering any resistance to this supreme power futile. This significant shift in attitude stood in stark contrast to his previous arrogance and self-reliance. Nebuchadnezzar's experience serves as a compelling reminder that God is the ultimate controller of earthly kingdoms, and that human pride holds no standing in his presence. The period of humiliation endured by the king showcased that true power solely belongs to God, and that any positions of authority people hold are granted by him. When Nebuchadnezzar returned to the throne after acknowledging the supremacy of the divine, he not only regained his position but also experienced a greater level of greatness than before. This aligns with the biblical principle that God elevates those who honor him. This situation underscores the generosity of divine forgiveness and how God intends to bring glory to himself through nations. Nebuchadnezzar's declaration of faith, characterized by a deep understanding of God's justice, serves as a remarkable indication of a genuine transformation within the heart of a pagan king. It is highly unlikely that a leader of such stature would express such reverence and submission without undergoing a genuine change of heart. The transformation Nebuchadnezzar underwent not only revealed his lack of resentment towards the difficult trials he endured, but also showed a newfound attitude of humility and acceptance. This suggests that he may have genuinely converted to become a believer in the God of Israel. Surprisingly, this message came directly from the king himself and resonated with a humble recognition of the miraculous works of God in his life. Nebuchadnezzar emphasized not only the extraordinary events he had witnessed, but also the supreme authority and everlasting power of the divine. His spiritual transformation was not only profound but also publicly displayed. Moved deeply by his encounters with the divine, the king made the decision to publicly declare his faith in a grand manner through a royal decree addressed to all peoples and nations. This choice not only demonstrated a personal change within Nebuchadnezzar, but also served as a compelling testament to the sovereignty of God. Daniel, guided by divine inspiration, recognized the significance of this account and included it in the scriptures. The inclusion of the testimony of a non-Jewish ruler served a twofold purpose: to bring glory to God and to demonstrate the undeniable transformation that occurred in Nebuchadnezzar's life. Daniel's choice to document these events emphasized the universal nature of the divine message and the opportunity for redemption and acknowledgement of the true God, regardless of one's ethnicity or cultural background. Throughout history, it is evident that Satan, the adversary, seeks to silence such testimonies and conceal the miracles performed by the Most High God in the lives of the faithful. However, Nebuchadnezzar's story breaks through these attempts at silencing, shining a light on the immense magnitude of God's eternal kingdom, surpassing all earthly realms. Nebuchadnezzar's narrative holds prophetic significance, reflecting the destiny of the Gentile nations. His period of madness can symbolize God's rejection of these nations, his downfall representing divine judgment upon them, and his restoration representing the redemption that some of these nations may experience in the millennial kingdom. This interpretation highlights not only God's authority over individuals, but also over nations and their collective destinies. The life of Nebuchadnezzar serves as a vital lesson for everyone, emphasizing the importance of avoiding arrogance and pride. Instead, we are called to embrace the humility exemplified by Jesus Christ. I hope you found this video enjoyable. If you appreciate content on biblical history like this, please like and share it with your friends and family. May God bless you all, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon.